then Ronaldo! Balotelli, Aguero! It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. Here's Messi. Away from 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
The Football Drop Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of FDP. It's a lovely one this week. I'm not going to be looking at the camera much because I have a beautiful man sat beside me, as you will see.
I was going to do the same thing. I was going to touch
okay?
you.
Yeah.
You're taking that away from me.
Sorry, you can touch me. Sensational. Good reaction. How you doing? You okay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm very good.
It's good to have you here. You can't do that because then you're in my camera.
Oh, sorry.
Because you wouldn't move the camera back. We've had an argument.
Yeah, we have had.
We're not talking to each other.
No. It's going to be a good pod. Don't talk at all.
It'd be better than normal.
It'd be like our first ever episode, wouldn't it? The silent test.
Do you remember that?
We definitely got rid of that, though.
We had to get rid of that because we were worried that people were listening to it and then weren't continuing.
Yeah, but it's one of our best listened episodes.
Yeah, because we were finding that people were like, this is better than actually listening to them talk.
Yeah.
And then they turned off once they heard us talk, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad, really. But we're in the office that was purpose built for our... partly purpose built for our studio.
We've made it. We've made it because...
I feel good.
Yeah, but I don't normally get an invite round here, so it's nice to be invited.
You've not needed an invite for God knows how long now.
Yeah, I reckon even
you just rock up.
Even the listeners will be like, why do you need an invite? You're normally just there.
You live in his toilet.
Yeah, you're there just in the toilet, constantly pissing.
Yeah. And now we're just constantly weighing ourselves on a Monday night.
We need to do that.
Yeah, 0.5 away as a few hours ago. I
We need to do that, man. We need to do that.
So, I think the scales are downstairs, actually, because it's on the solid floor then.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, making sure. How you doing, though? You okay?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, mate.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it is.
It's nice
just
to
looking into your eyes.
Yeah, I like this. It's nice.
Yeah.
Should we
hit pause and just take a quick break so we can just stare for a few minutes?
No, we do that after.
Oh, okay.
Because we get naked then.
I'm ready. I'm ready for football. It's all good. Mate, update on our shirts. They're being printed.
Yeah?
Printed and embroidered this week. We should, touch wood, have them for next week for our final game.
Oh, really?
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that would be nice.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, well done for arranging that. I'll have to transfer you over the money.
Yes, please. Yeah. I am going to talk to him about getting specific FDP designed ones.
Okay.
So we need to design what we like.
Right.
And give him the copy of it, and then they'll mock it up on their one.
Okay.
So we need to do that before the end of the season. I'd like it for Christmas, so I'd like to give it as a Christmas present to you.
Ah.
And then you have to get me one.
Yeah, I thought
we can wear it every week. I want one with a collar, like your polo. Right. I want one with a collar. Okay. I think they look brilliant. Just looking at, I didn't know if the other ones had them.
Yeah.
I think they're proper old school designs.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of coming back now, aren't they? Some of the kits are weird this season. Did you see the Liverpool kit?
I can't remember.
So it had the Nike tick.
Oh, it goes
but
up,
it was
though.
The other, yeah.
I can't remember what it was. I read a reason somewhere. I read an article about it, and they said why they're doing it like that.
You can't remember?
I can't remember what it was. So it's a really good thing to.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
I did, to be fair. No, I that, and then I was like the Newcastle badge that I mentioned the other week that just looked.
Yeah, I didn't. Do you know what? I didn't clock on. That was Newcastle.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I know you sent it. I was like, oh, it's Newcastle, but didn't register it was Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just didn't get it.
So. No, it's just weird. I like what they're doing with some of the kits, like the Adidas, the retro ones that they done were quite nice.
What, the one when it's the same goalkeeper shirt?
No, but there's that. Yeah, I know. Jack's got the got the yellow goalkeeper shirt for Arsenal, and he's like, oh. Celtic have got one as well. And then he's like, oh, Aston Villa have got one. And then basically everyone with Adidas got the same kit. It's just a different badge.
I think it's a con. I think you're ripping fans off.
But especially because it was 60 quid for a kid's goalkeeper shirt. And the frustrating thing is, every single time, Raya has worn the black one. And Jack's like, so when do they wear this yellow one? And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
I thought the black one was our main...
No, the yellow one is... But I think it might clash with like the referee or something like that.
It's clever to have a yellow one then, if it clashed with the ref.
Oh mate, tell me about it. I'm really glad that we spent that money on it. But yeah, how was your weekend?
Yeah, it was alright. I didn't really do too much really. Lots of just housework really. Tip runs, tidying, hoovering, ripping up carpets because we've got the new flooring downstairs, as you have seen now as well.
I've seen it. It looks very nice.
Yeah, bit of a chilled one really by comparison. What about you? You had a good weekend, didn't you?
I did have a good weekend. Yeah, I had a really good weekend. So I finished the flooring. Had a bit of a nightmare with it.
Go on, share.
I sent you a voice note, didn't I?
You did, yeah. But just share, just so people can listen. Or should I just play the voice note? Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might not be safe. Just in case.
Should you?
You did say it was safe to listen in the car.
Yeah, but not that doesn't mean safe to play out to 10 people who listen to this podcast.
Yeah, we got 12 last week.
Yeah, no. So basically, the internet cable, the phone cable broke, so I had to fix it. But then when I put the scotia, the beading round the bottom of the flooring, it pressed onto the internet cable and it broke. So I've glued the beading on, and then I've had to rip some of it up to fix the cable again.
Oh no!
And then obviously it's covered in glue, but I've got to rest it somewhere. So I've tried to rest it down, and then I've put that back. And I've got to be at Jack's football. I've got to leave for Jack's football in about 20 minutes. So why I'm doing it at this time, it just defies belief. But I felt like I needed to do it there and then. So I'm doing it.
Right.
And then, so basically I've ended up with my hands covered in glue.
What, like the kids when they're doing arts and crafts?
Yeah, but it doesn't peel off as nice as PVA. It's not as nice as that.
Unmatchable.
And then I've got then I've got glue all over the floor.
Of course,
the new floor.
Yeah, of course.
Which I need to sort out because I did miss a couple of bits.
Let's hope I've seen that.
Yeah, I said to her, I've missed a bit down there. It'll just pick off. It's all right. And then I've got the internet not working. People wanting to use the internet who obviously can't in the house because it's not working. So then I fixed that. And then I'm like, oh my God. I'm the closest one to Jack's football club this week. And I was the last one there. It's terrible. And I turned up there covered in glue. Sorry.
Everyone's been like, Jack, what's wrong with your dad?
Yeah.
Is he okay? Oh, he just loves sniffing glue, that's all.
Yeah. I'm a glue sniffer.
You're a glue sniffer.
Or a snoogliffer.
Yeah. So
one for the Only Fools and Horses fans. If you are an Only Fools and Horses fan, get in touch and let us know where that's from.
Yeah, one of you 12 people, hit us up, footballdroppodcast@hotmail.com.
Cheers, Ali.
Let us know. Should we just have a bit of a recap on deadline day? Because it was actually one of the better deadline days we've had for quite a while, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think there was some good signings towards the end.
There was a dildo, wasn't there, that turned up on Sky Sports News?
There was a dildo, which did tell me that partially it's coming back and the hype's coming back. But did you see, that kid who predicted the transfer? He said, "Here we land" or something instead.
No.
He was on Sky. It's a TikTok sensation.
Okay.
That's what Sky Sports had him down as. And it just, to me, just screamed just how shit deadline day can be and how shit Sky Sports has got.
Okay. Elaborate.
Because you get like these footballers, like ex-footballers that have won things in their career, like big names and stuff, and they report on deadline day stuff. You've got like an 8-year-old who made a TikTok video about someone who guessed that there was a transfer happening.
What was that?
Sorry, that was my phone.
I thought you farted.
No,
I was really worried because this room is really small.
Yeah, it's quite hot in here as well.
Yeah.
Trying to get off that extra half a kilo before football.
Ben's just shit himself.
No, it's just the phone guy. But, they put him as a TikTok sensation. It's like, he's as qualified to do that as we are.
Yeah.
And we're not on there. We're podcasters. We should be on there.
Right, so question for you. And I will believe whatever you say, okay?
Oh, here we go.
All right. Are you just jealous that we're not on there?
A bit jealous, yes. But the point does still stand, though, in the sense of, it's deadline day. Like, what happened to the days of Jim White and Natalie Sawyer reporting, Redknapp's in his car, everyone's outside the stadium, it's hype, the fans are crowding around the stadiums to get a glimpse of who might be there. There's none of that now. Or very little of that now.
No, because it doesn't happen at the stadiums, does it? It happens at, Toney or...
Yeah, and I get that, but sometimes they're outside the training grounds and the fans will still go there and try and see it and stuff. And I miss those days. Now it's just like, there's a random kid who gets a transfer.
Do you know what this is?
There's no disrespect to him or anything. Don't get me wrong. It's great and it's cool and it's a really good outlet. But it just ruins. It's just not the same anymore. I'm not prepared to move on from it.
Yeah,
I
I was going to say.
I can't.
I think what's happening here is you're getting old.
Mate, I'm definitely getting old. I've got slippers, I've got a dressing gown, and I'm quite content.
Yeah, and what was the other thing? Talcum powder. Yeah.
Who doesn't use talc? As if.
I don't use talc.
You always smell of talc.
I don't.
You always smell of talc.
You are so talc.
Honestly, you do.
I don't.
You don't use talc? I've always thought you always smell quite fresh. I was like, it's talc.
Nah, I swear on your mum's life, I do not use talc.
Don't swear on my mum's life. Thank you very much.
I care about her.
Swear on your own life.
My own life?
Yeah.
All right, I swear on my own life.
Swear on Jack's life.
Okay, swear on Jack's life.
Wow, you swear on your own son's life? That's disgraceful.
That I don't use something that I don't use. Yeah.
But you do always smell of talc. Have you got like an aftershave that's talc?
Well, maybe. I'm a bit worried now.
Yeah.
It's just Prada.
Prada? Look at you. I use Prada.
What do you use? Look at you. Oh,
yeah, it's the only Armani thing I'll ever have that's real.
Yeah.
Like, always get the knockoff polos. I mean, we don't buy knockoff gear.
What are you saying?
So yeah, transfers. Let's move on to transfers.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
That's a very good question. Let's start with Perisic.
Yeah, I've not seen this at all. It's only that you told me. He's gone to Como.
So he went to Hajduk. What's it called?
Hajduk Split.
Hajduk Split. That's it.
That was his boyhood club, wasn't it?
He went there, and who else went there? Well, was there somebody else from Barcelona? Rakitic.
Didn't know he went to Seville.
No, it wasn't him then. There was somebody else who went back to their boyhood club, which I think it was Hajduk. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we're not talking about them. So,
Good to make 10 seconds.
He was there from January last summer on loan.
Yes.
And then he joined them permanently after that. And then moved to Como.
Payday. One last payday. Surely it's got to be.
But I don't understand.
Or a chance to play in Serie A again.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Because it was all like a nostalgic, this is great. Oh, no, I'm going.
Maybe they said, you're not going to get much game time.
Possibly.
And he's just like, you know what, that's fine. I still want to play.
But if he's going to play at Como, why wouldn't he get into Split?
Maybe new manager doesn't want someone that old. I don't know.
I reckon it's a split decision.
I mean, Como is a bit of a romanticised club, isn't it?
Well,
so you've got that setting. You've got older players going there, which we'll move on to another one in a sec. But you've got a bit of a reunion happening there with like older players. It feels like a Turkish club.
We'll move on to Turkey.
We will. But it does, doesn't it? Like Turkish clubs, they always buy like the older players.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but I know what you mean. I know what you're saying, but it just, I don't know. You're moving for a reason, and then quickly you've gone somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah,
I can't really make sense of it.
But yeah, so Varane has been left out of the squad, hasn't he? Because he's gone there as well.
Oh, he's always injured though, isn't he? So he went there. I think it took a huge wage cut to go there, and then got injured in pre-season. Just got quit, didn't it?
Yeah, you do wonder whether that's the right time. You sort of hear like ex-pros talk about, actually, I knew my time was up, and I didn't want to like prolong it anymore. I knew I was aching, I was injury prone. I knew that I needed to get out. And then you see others who are like just defiant. It's quite sad actually, because they must just have constant disappointment.
Especially if you tend to drop through the leagues as well.
Yeah. And
you think, just give it.
Yeah, like Edgar Davids, number one at Barnet. It was Barnet, wasn't it? Do you remember that?
He became player manager.
Yeah. He gave himself the number one. I think he got red carded a few times and then left.
Ridiculous, all these things. But yeah, sometimes you need to know when to quit, don't you? I think that's the difference. You need to know when to quit. Yeah,
I agree. But that could be an omen for us, really, couldn't it, with this podcast?
So what's next, Will?
So there was.
Tell me more.
Let's go on to the actual kind of exciting transfer deadline day. So it was quite busy, wasn't it? Like you say, it was quite a good one. There were a few things going on. As an Arsenal fan, if you'd have said to me sort of 3 weeks ago, deadline day, you are going to stay up till 11 o'clock hoping that Raheem Sterling signs for Arsenal, I'll be like, fuck off. There's no way that's going to happen. But what happened was I was stayed up till 11 o'clock hoping, and I don't know why I was hoping. I think I just like enjoyed the, signing a new player. I was like, yeah, great. Let's sign Sterling.
It was fun that we were part of it again because it gave me Ozil vibes.
Yeah.
Which was great back then.
Do you know what? There was a little part of me that's like, what we're going to do? Right, we're going to do something really cool. We're going to be like, here's Sterling. Yeah, welcome. And here, Haaland. Like, someone like that. Like, have a big name next to him. Like, oh my God, I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, like Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
This is what I wish. This is the downside to like social media is you will never get a Sol Campbell moment ever again.
No. I remember it with Rosicky as well. Like, no one knew. Rosicky just came and appeared and became Little Mozart.
He comes from Dortmund, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was Dortmund, yeah.
But yeah.
It's a weird one. So it's a weird one for me for two reasons. The first reason, which I just can't get over, is Chelsea needed to make space in their team, so they gave us Raheem Sterling, and they're paying like 200,000 of his 350,000.
225k they're spending.
They're spending a week on his wages so that he can play for Arsenal, right? Who's a rival club. Yeah, but still,
Used to be a rival.
But then they went and signed Sancho on loan from Man United.
Yeah.
That
I don't get that.
Is complete madness for me.
Yeah.
They haven't got enough room in their squad, so they get rid of a player, and then they're like, yeah, but we should replace him.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. From Chelsea's perspective, I don't understand it. I understand the Jadon Sancho signing because they'll get him on loan, sign him for 20 million, I think it's for 22 million, which is the obligation, which is nothing.
Oh, that isn't a lot.
They can sell him for 30 the same summer.
Yeah.
And they'll make money on him. Yeah, they could go
maybe Man United will buy him back because they did that with Pogba.
Yeah, they were like, oh my God, this guy at Chelsea, lads, this guy at Chelsea is insane. We need to sign him. His name's Sancho? Yeah, let's get him. But yeah, I think they could probably sell him in the summer after signing him in the summer on a perm. But it's a free hit for them.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't understand if you have no space in your squad, let's sign another player.
It just makes zero sense to me.
But Chilwell stayed. He's not part of the squad at all.
Yeah.
Did Brozier go? He was linked with
Ipswich, wasn't he?
Ipswich, Everton, and Fulham.
He was linked with Ipswich for quite a while.
But he failed the medical.
He failed the medical, but then they came.
They reopened it again, didn't they?
On deadline day.
Then there was about 4 or 5 players from the Chelsea's first team squad from last season.
I know
that are now training on their own.
He signed for Everton.
Oh, he did go in the end.
Yeah, he did go. Yeah.
And I just think, what are they doing?
We need to come on to Everton. Wowzers. Yeah, it really
very bizarre,
really, really odd. And then there was talk of them in talks with Osimhen all day.
He screwed over every single person here. He screwed over Napoli.
Yeah,
telling him he doesn't want to play for him anymore.
Yeah.
He screwed over the Saudi club that are in for him.
Because he was waiting for a better offer.
He agreed and then was like, I'm not going to travel yet, though. Then Napoli decided, no, actually, we want more money because it's the Saudis.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
He was waiting on Chelsea, but he wouldn't agree to terms. He wanted 500 grand a week, apparently. Wow. And Chelsea like, that's not part of our wage structure. We don't do that anymore. So they signed him on for like 80, 90 grand for 25 years.
Yeah.
But everything's incentive-based, which I think is the right way to go.
Yeah.
I do genuinely believe that's the right way to go, incentive-based contracts. Because everyone wants to play then. So if you're not playing, you can't fucking get it.
Well, they've got about 50,000 people there as well.
Excuse me.
The better you play, the competition is tough.
Yeah, of course it is.
But he's just about to sign for Galatasaray.
Yeah, I was going to say, why? That's not a step up.
Well, because he screwed himself over. He
has to go.
Al Ali said, no thanks.
Yeah.
Chelsea
signed Toney, didn't they, in the end?
They signed Toney. They were going to have both of them.
They didn't have space in their squad. They were never going to get both. They weren't allowed to register both as foreign players.
Because without getting rid of one, so they would have had to have done that. But they wanted both. But yeah, it looks like Galatasaray now just cashing in. Like, oh well, you're available.
Is Osimhen that good?
Last season he was okay. The season before he was on fire.
Yeah, but one season he's been really good.
Yeah.
I don't
probably more than one season, but yeah.
But like on fire for one season.
I tell you what, I don't think we'll talk about Osimhen ever again.
No, I don't.
Unless something major happens to him.
Yeah, I just don't understand the hype around him that much. He's clearly a good player. Looking at his numbers, he's done okay, but he's not set the world on fire.
No, that's him
apart
gone
from
now.
that one season.
You won't talk about him again.
But Ivan Toney cashed out at the right time, didn't he?
I don't know.
40 grand at Brentford, 400 grand at Al Ahly.
But that's not what it's about.
That's a good cash out, though.
It's oh yeah. If you're doing cash builder in, when you're gambling and you cash out of that, that's all right. But
exactly.
What I'm thinking is,
tell us.
You don't go to Saudi Arabia to play top level football.
No.
You go there for the money, or you go there to enjoy the lifestyle, or if you're not good enough to play elsewhere, and you know that you're going to play with the likes of Ronaldo, etc., who's out there. But
yeah,
what is it for him?
Did you just fart?
No. Or is it that he didn't have a better offer because no one could afford him? But 40 million, that wasn't a lot.
40 million is not a lot I know he's got 1 year left on his contract, but for a player who's delivered in the Prem consistently, for a struggling team.
So he almost put himself out of a club, really, because he said to Brentford, I'm not playing for you anymore. No one came in for him, probably thinking we might get him on free.
Fuck, I've got to go here.
And now he's got to go to Saudi.
Quite possibly. I reckon he could be back in the summer.
Why? No one else.
I think someone will go if he does well there.
We said that about Ruben Neves.
Yeah, that's true.
I
forgot about
you
him.
just go into obscurity, don't you? When you go there,
because there's not much traction, is there? There's not much televised football or anything there. You don't really see much.
You can get it, but it's just the quality isn't as good, is it? Ronaldo said that that's his last club. He's not going to play.
Yeah, I saw that. He said, "Yeah, I might retire 2-3 years."
Yeah,
he's like, "But I'll probably retire at Al Nassr."
Yeah, it's just I find it a bit weird going there. But going back to your original question, the second reason why I think Sterling was a weird one,
roundabout way,
was where does he fit in the Arsenal team?
He's a backup.
For who?
He's a backup for Saka. Generally, that's the way I see him. He's a backup for Saka. Because you got Trossard and Martinelli on the left. I don't think Trossard's that good from the right. We got rid of Nelson on loan.
Yeah, he went to...
so Sterling will do kind of that false nine and the winger role. For me, that's the way I see him anyway. Because he worked so well with Arteta at City.
Yeah.
And he had his best stats ever for goal contributions
Arteta. Wasn't it a couple of weeks ago where Arteta had said in an interview as well that he likes Sterling?
Yeah. Well, this has clearly been bubbling for a little while, I reckon.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping it could be a good sign. It's a win-win for Arsenal, I think. 100 grand in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot of money for someone who's in their prime of their career at 29.
Yeah.
He's won the Premier League multiple times.
Yeah.
80-odd England caps. He's got so much experience. I know he's not a leader as such, but he's a leader from experience from that perspective. And even if he only plays 20, 25 games, he'll have a point to prove by playing for us.
Yeah.
And a point to prove to Chelsea, screw you, this is what I can do if you just show me a bit of love and support, which they haven't done.
No.
So I'm thinking it could be a good deal. And the fact that Chelsea's still paying him 225k to play for us is just madness.
Yeah, it's crazy. I hope it works out for us. I hope we do well with him because we were sitting there thinking we need a striker. If we don't have a striker, we're not going to win the league. And I think, judging by our first 3 games and the performances, we don't look like title winners. Man City and Liverpool look like title winners at the moment, but certainly we don't. So that's kind of where I was. But a few interesting little ones, like Reece Nelson went to Fulham.
He did, yeah.
Edouard left.
You love that transfer.
Palace to Leicester. Palace got in a couple of players in the end because it was a bit. They were looking a bit light, weren't they? Because they got rid of Anderson. They managed to keep Gueye, which will be. That for them is going to be huge. Yeah.
To be fair, I think shout out to Gueye for just not acting on anything. You'd never know watching him on the pitch that
that's
all of this is going on behind the scenes, because that's got to affect you, especially if you're going to a bigger club.
Yeah,
you think you get your head turned a little bit, don't you?
Yeah.
but he's played professionally. He's played very well. So, yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, I do agree. That's a really good shout. He didn't do a. Who was the guy from West Brom who went?
Odemwingie.
Who left. Like, he didn't do an Odemwingie. Just stay quiet. For whatever happens. He just enjoys playing football. And, yeah.
Good person to run around, isn't it? That sort of thing.
Yeah. So that was good. Forest did a bit of business in the end as well, didn't they? They signed a couple of players, and Man United got Ugarte in the end, didn't they?
I think that's going to be a really good signing once he's up to speed. But Ten Hag, I know we're probably going to come on to him, but what is he doing? Like, the things he comes out with is mad.
Go on.
Well, he said, I'm not Harry Potter, I don't have a magic wand. He said Ugarte might not be ready for months. He hasn't played all season. Well, it's only 3 games, didn't he? He played during pre-season. So he can't be that unfit.
Yeah.
I don't get that PR side of things. Like, why is he saying these things?
So I've had a lot of feedback about criticism against Ten Hag. And I think there are a couple of reasons. One is the Man United fans are extremely biased. And 2, apparently because he's Dutch, he just says it how it is. What I think is he's a bit slow pre-shoulders. Nothing seems to stick to him. He's always got a reason why it's not his fault or United's fault. Casemiro seems to be being made the scapegoat a little bit, although he did come out and defend him after the game.
I think he needs to, that's what.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a funny one. Very, very, I don't understand him.
Yeah, it's just a bit odd.
We can come on to him. Any other news?
No, I think that's it. We've talked quite a lot about the news, haven't we? I know we want to talk about the games this weekend.
Yeah, right. Should we go to the first game, the Arsenal-Brighton one? Let's get into it.
Yes, mate, let's go. There's quite a lot to dissect from this, actually, because let's just go straight in with the red card.
Okay.
Where's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this?
So the first one was a booking.
Yeah, 100%.
Definite booking. He was late.
Slid from sort of behind.
Yeah, slid from almost the goal line.
He slid really far.
He did slide far. So I thought, that's definitely a booking. When you look at let's go to the João Pedro incident where the ball went off for a throw-in.
It's a fucking yellow card.
Very
obvious. Booted that.
Very obvious it's a throw-in, and he booted it. However, what he'll say is there was no whistle, so he tried to get away with one.
Nah, bollocks. Not having that. He should have been on a yellow.
He's then played the ball forward. He can't play the free kick because the ball was still moving.
Yeah. Which means all of this, before you even go into it, all of that is null and void. Everything after that is null and void.
So, but it's not, because he's rolled the ball forward to take the free kick. The ball is still moving, but Rice, he comes off of his thing, and then I think it's just a natural reaction. There was the ball there, and he kind of he did put his foot towards it, and he did kick the ball out. So by that, it was the right decision to send him off because it was a bookable offence. However, if you ask me, as a football fan, that is a shocking decision. Send him off for nudging the ball 2 feet, if that, because he's not hoofed it long. He's not thrown it into the crowd. He's not done anything like that.
He's got in the way,
but he has done time. He has time wasted because he's kicked the ball away.
Yeah,
probably. So that
but
he
they
can
did it
reposition
so many
himself.
times. Those little ones.
It happens.
They did 2 or 3 occasions in the first half.
It happens in every game.
Yeah,
it happens in every. I see it in every single game where the ball is kicked a little bit. I think I saw. I can't remember which game it was now. I saw a player sort of pick the ball up and throw it back, and it went over the free kick taker's head. And I'm like, well, that's not a yellow card. So again, it comes down to the consistency of that rule.
Every fucking time it's this consistency bollocks. And I'm just bored of it because we've had some real shit decisions again. This is why obviously we're going to be a little bit more angry about it. We've had players be strangled, we've players stamped on, and we've had that, and we get nothing. We get nothing this season so far. Chris Kavanagh was the one who reported us for celebrating a goal against Bournemouth for the 97th minute.
Yeah,
he reported us, yeah. And then he's done this. And every other ref has said, yeah, look, letter of the law, it is, but there was like, I would never have given that.
You'd never send
especially nowadays, I would never have given that.
You'd never send him off. But as Bukayo said, Arsenal had opportunities to put that game to bed and didn't take it.
Yeah, it was a good goal from Havertz. Just from a lump up the pitch.
Raya did very well in that game. But I just think even with 10 men, I would have expected Arsenal to have either kept a clean sheet or scored a goal. We had a couple of opportunities, but Brighton were all over us, as they probably would have been because we had 10 men. Should Arteta have brought Calafiori on?
No.
Before he did?
No.
Well, I think he should, because if he'd have done it before, arguably they might not have conceded going to a back five. We might not have conceded because we didn't concede a goal when we did that. He'd done it after the goal, so I felt like it was just a couple of minutes too late.
No, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think sometimes you've got to play out for a little while. You still got Partey there.
Well, at one point, he was just stood in the middle of the pitch, like, are we playing 5-1-3? And Arteta was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was poor decisions, I think, in that moment. I did think it kind of screwed us over, but a point down to 10 men. The only concern is Rice is out of the North London derby.
Yeah, Rice is out of that. We've not got Marino because he's fractured his arm after Gabriel landed on him.
I can't believe this. Honestly.
New player, gone.
First training session. It's just embarrassing, isn't it? But good 1-0. I'll take that.
It was 1-1.
1-1. Good 1-1. I will take that.
I'm glad you would. Brentford Southampton. That was quite a nice game. Buemo scored a couple of goals.
Yeah, those goals came from Southampton playing out from the back. They're looking like Burnley from last season.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. They stuck with it, and you saw Ramsdale going along a couple of times, didn't you?
Yeah, and then you saw him get bollocked for it.
He got told not to, so he carried on playing it short, and then they got a couple of goals.
They got what they deserved at Southampton. They need to learn quick.
They look a different team. I think they'll go down still. I'm adamant about it. But they look a different sort of team to Burnley.
Yeah, it wasn't good, was it?
No, not really.
I do think Brentford's press was exceptional though throughout the entire game.
Unbelievable. Yeah, the analysis that you saw like when on Match of the Day, because obviously you couldn't watch the game, but yeah, seeing that analysis, they were outstanding.
Do you know who weren't outstanding?
What? So for 86 minutes, Bournemouth were not outstanding.
No, okay. Bournemouth, let's be completely honest. Bournemouth do not deserve anything out of that game.
Not for the way they played. Everton played really, really well for the first sort of 85, 86 minutes, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did.
But what a goal from Keane.
Mate, great goal from Keane. Great finish. But watching it on Match of the Day, I feel like there was nothing for Bournemouth at all. So they didn't even have a shot. They didn't have anything.
I think they had one shot on target
possession
throughout the majority of the game.
That's mad. That's like a complete domination, isn't it? You don't get that really happening.
It's an annihilation. And Everton had so many chances to just put it to bed.
But they couldn't.
And then the 87th minute came and Semenyo scored a goal, which I think... I haven't really looked at it in too much detail, but I am sure the amount of goals Everton concede is when the ball comes in between the goalkeeper and the defender. The ball will come in between them, and they will score, or either front post or back post. That it's either Pickford's not coming out and claiming the ball, or the defender and Pickford are not communicating enough so the defender isn't able to say, "Oh, I need to go there," or the defender saying, "Like Pickford, come get it." A lot it seems to happen.
But you are right. I think we spoke about it off air last season, didn't we? About it.
Oh, and yeah, maybe
it was like, oh, okay, that's I think you picked up on it before, and I think it makes sense. It always seems to be Mikalenko.
But I think it happened in the England-Spain game in the Euros final. I'm sure the goal to Nico Williams was between Pickford and the last defender in the back post. I don't want to blame like Pickford for us losing the Euros, but if someone needs to take the flak, then
it's the goalie. Always goalie, typical striker. Been elevated back up top again now, isn't it?
But then, I mean, the Cook header.
Mate, that was a good header.
It was a good header, but why is he heading the ball? Where's Keane? Where are the defence?
But I feel like when they scored the first goal, when Bournemouth scored their first goal, Everton was like, right, let's just shut up shop. But Sean Dyche was screaming at them to get in position. Not to shut up shop, but get in position. Yeah, it's like it's as though they'd played like 180 minutes.
They were knackered. I've never seen a team
it's insane.
After 80 odd minutes of just so tired. What is going on?
It's as though Bournemouth didn't actually run until 85 minutes.
Maybe
they're just like, let's just chill for a bit, let's relax. Fancy beer or anything, boys? Half time now. Have a quick beer, chill out. We'll play a second half.
Yeah, right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
But that's going to steer a goal, where I think you said Mikalenko just didn't track back and it was the winner, and you think all that energy, all that effort for Everton to go and lose the game was just unreal, man.
I do feel for Everton, but Dyche is not for 6 now in August games as Everton manager. Which is not good.
Not good for a proven Premier League manager, is it, mate?
It's not. But they'll go October, November, December, they'll win 4 out of 7 games or something. And you think, how have they done that?
Yeah.
How have they pulled out their arse?
Yeah.
They beat Man City 6-0.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
How have they done that?
Quickly on to the Ipswich Fulham goal. I thought the Delap goal for Ipswich was really, really good and up there in my list for goal of the week.
What was the Delap one?
Outside, was it outside the box? Curled it in? Left foot, I think it was in the top.
I can't remember that goal.
It might have been right foot actually into the top left hand corner, top right hand corner for the keeper.
Can't remember that one.
Yeah, it was a good goal. I didn't quite make our goal of the week, but I think I'd give that a shout.
I think there was one that stood out for me for goal of the week, which we'll obviously come on to.
And Fulham seemed to do okay. I think Ipswich played quite well at home. Fulham did all right. I think Fulham will grow as they get more and more into their new team because they've obviously had a lot of transfers.
Ipswich
Traore on the score sheet.
That was a nice finish from Traore. Yeah. I think Ipswich are showing good signs, but I'm just getting Luton vibes.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Very much so, because no one's expecting them to stay up. Everyone's like,
you are
getting Luton vibes.
Yeah, me too.
They're putting a performance. They look good, but they won't be able to just turn that loss into a draw or turn that draw into a win. They've got whole season.
Got a point though. They've got a point, which is good. Start.
Yeah, absolutely, and that will give them confidence for sure.
Yeah,
but how long that goes on, who knows?
Leicester Villa. I thought Leicester defensively were really poor. I thought Faze. Is it Faze? Fast?
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He didn't when he first joined them. In the January and when they were in the Premier League, and I thought, I don't know if he's going to be their man. He seemed to stay there, and again, I'm not sure if he's cut for the Premier League.
He seems too slow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He just reminds me of David Luiz towards the end of his career with Arsenal.
Yeah, David Luiz. Yeah, when he's 35.
Yeah.
It's just mobility. He's got his reaction seems slow.
It does. Yeah, he sort of gave up on the second goal, I think. But Ollie Watkins is having a bit of a shocker.
He really is. He's really screwing over my fantasy football. He's really screwing up my FPL massively here. He just can't.
Should have put Durran in. He's having a blinder.
Mate, I think he's...
We didn't know he was going to play there, but he's being great.
Well, he's got walking around like that, and all of a sudden he's top scorer for Villa. He looks sharp as anything.
He does look sharp. So does Ramsey.
He's quick, he's powerful. Yeah, Ramsey's looking good. I'll tell you who I think looks fucking incredible.
Onana?
Onana is signing of the season so far, early doors. He's been incredible. But Vardy...
Oh, okay, yeah.
He looks electric.
Yeah. What did you see the one that came off the ref?
Mate, I get it because it's interfered, but they still had the ball.
Yeah.
They normally would play on.
I thought that.
Especially as it was a nudge, wasn't it? It wasn't a full contact thing. It was a slight deflection almost, but it still went to the player that it was passing to.
Was it? I think it was another case of he blew the whistle before he realised.
Maybe, which I guess to the letter of the law, you probably would stop the game. But because it's a judgment call, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's you're almost playing advantage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did feel for them. But at the same time, my gut feeling when I first saw it was and a goal though because it hit the ref. So I think it's just unlucky.
Yeah, it was
It's
unlucky.
probably unlucky.
Forest Wolves 1-1. Do you want to go over on that?
No, it was another boring game, really, wasn't it?
Boring game.
Chris Wood looks quite good though at the moment.
Mate, he
looks really sharp.
He does look sharp. Great header.
Mate,
he was far away from the goal.
He loves that. We spoke what felt like his own goal line.
Yeah, and, he was next to Declan Rice, and Declan Rice went in for the tackle.
Yeah, 1-1 draw. Wasn't really much to talk about on that one.
West Ham City game was good.
Yeah, West Ham were unlucky with that result because I think if Kudus scores that second equaliser that ricocheted off the bar, I think that could have changed the game a bit because it was just a box down counter attack, but it was just electric, and that's how they set up.
They were kind of lucky with the own goal though.
They were, but I think it was forced a little bit as well. There was good pressure at that moment.
They played West Ham. I would say this is one of the best West Ham teams I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know they won the Conference League and they've done really, really well. But this team does have a feel about it.
Yeah, there's a feel good factor around the place, isn't there?
Yeah, especially with Kudus, Paqueta.
It's
the Kudus, Paqueta, Fulkrug / Antonio.
I feel defensively they're rocky still. They don't seem to be there yet. There's a lot of chances.
Mavropanos.
Yeah, Zuma's just gone now, isn't he?
Zuma's gone.
Yeah, and Kilman.
Oh, Kilman. Yeah, he looks very good.
Kilman looks good. I just think they're not. Obviously, this takes a little while to gel. I get that, but they just don't look quite there yet.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think they're going to do really well this season. I think they could be quite surprised at where they end up. But I guess the game really isn't about West Ham. It was more about Erling Haaland.
7 goals, 3 games.
Yeah,
he's got 8 hat-tricks in 60-something games.
Yeah, was it Alan Shearer who's got 10?
He's one behind Alan Shearer. Oh, he might be on 9 hat-tricks now. He's one behind Alan Shearer.
He's got 10 in like 380 odd games.
He's matched Henry and Kane, I think it is. Kane played 300 and something games.
Drogba, yeah.
Henry was 258 or something like that, I remember seeing somewhere.
Yeah, that's how he played
games. The guy's a machine.
It's unreal. It's unreal. That second goal.
That's our goal of the week, I think.
Goal of the week.
Got to be.
It was just the way he set it up. He was like, I've got a bit of time.
That touch.
He hit it so hard.
Yeah, but that control initially, it was a great pass for, was it Rico Lewis that they passed it?
Yeah.
To be able to cushion it and just rebound just enough so he can take a step and then curl it in was just perfect.
Unbelievable.
And the fucking power that man gets on it. It's just, it's ridiculous. Like he's an absolute machine.
So that's our Mystery Away Days goal of the week. Well done, Erling.
Well done, Erling Haaland.
There's a beer here for you whenever you want it.
Yeah, if not, we'll make a smoothie if you want. Healthy. You don't mind doing that.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
And you come on the pod for 5 minutes as well.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Oh, great. Sunday games?
Right, I've not been able to catch up on Match of the Day 2 yet.
Okay.
So this is all you, because I know you managed to watch it.
I've watched that.
I've watched some highlights.
I watched the United game. We'll come on to that. Chelsea Palace was, for me, an okay game. I think Chelsea were probably the better team, but a spectacular effort from Eza.
A close second, wasn't it? Goal of the week for us.
Yeah, close second. I think Crystal Palace will start to grow. Like they've had similar to Fulham. They've had a few new signings. They've lost a few, gained a few. It's that'll take a little while to gel, but they looked okay. Eza's dragging them along. Chelsea didn't look as good as they did, obviously, against Wolves, but they played well. Nice goal from Jackson, well worked. It'd be interesting to see kind of the team that they start to put out. I think that's going to be key, really. Yeah,
they've done a good bit of business as well, Chelsea. Because Jackson's down to 8 years on his contract. So they've just got him a new contract. So he's got 9 years again now.
Yeah, I think it was 7 years he had left.
Was it 7?
Oh, yeah, you gave him a 2-year extension, up to 9 years. They see the potential in him, so fair play. But
I can see it. I do sort of see it.
He's going to get better and better.
He's often in the right places. It's just his ability shocking.
He just hasn't been able to put the ball in the back of the net, but that will change. He will do that.
He'll hit a purple patch, and then all of a sudden,
purple
Ali will be taking the mick out of us.
Yeah, 100%.
Calling us out like he normally does. But deserve a draw then, that one?
Yeah, I would say so. I think if you were Palace, you'd probably say, no, they didn't deserve it. And if you're Chelsea, they would say, no, Palace didn't deserve it.
But you're Arsenal, so they deserve it.
So they deserved it, yeah.
A nice result for Newcastle.
A great result for Newcastle, considering Tottenham were probably the better team and were more on it. They just can't finish.
No, they're really struggling at the moment.
They're really struggling. They've lost Richarlison and who was the other striker they lost? Can't think. Injured.
Solanke.
Solanke, yeah.
New signing Solanke. He wasn't often injured previously.
No, but now he is.
It's like Marino, isn't it?
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, Tottenham played well. They just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Newcastle were not fantastic and got away with one because they could put the ball in the back of the net. If anything, they could have had more. I think Isak hit the crossbar, and it was a good game. I did enjoy that game, but yeah, Tottenham doing a Tottenham, and I think Postecoglou had his hands in his head a couple of times, and there was a lot on social media as if to say Postecoglou's thinking, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah, what's going on here? Like, what? It's probably more, what the hell are you doing to the players?
Yeah.
But Newcastle were really good at home.
They do play well at home.
They always play well at home. You've got the crowd on their side, and it's quite a daunting place to go, isn't it? So it does affect things.
Did you catch the Alan Shearer story about him coming back from his flight got cancelled, and he ended up having to fly into Heathrow, and then he needed to get a train from St Pancras, I think, up to Newcastle. Quite tough to get tickets. Struggled with it. Managed to get tickets. Was like, I don't care. I just want to got in. And the person said, "Oh, there's been a football match on, so it's going to be full of football fans on the way up to the north."
To Alan Shearer.
To Shearer and his mates.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then he realised, "Oh shit, Sunderland are playing Portsmouth and they've won."
Oh no!
So he's on a train. And he sees all these Sunderland fans piling on. So he's put a hat on, got a jumper on, and he sat like that. He said 4 hours he had to sit with his head down, hat on,
no way,
so they couldn't see his face, and they're all there singing songs about Sunderland. Then they were singing songs about Newcastle. Oh. Then eventually they were singing songs about Alan Shearer.
No way!
Yeah. And he said he couldn't look up once. He couldn't go to the toilet because he said he was hoping that they'd all get off at Durham. They didn't. They all got off at Newcastle where he got off. And then he was worrying about having to get off.
Yeah.
In the end, he was all right. Got off. He said no one noticed him. No one knew it was him the whole time. But he was like... God.
Can you imagine if you're one of those Sunderland fans, you're going, why is this geezer? He must be battered.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's why you just leave.
Yeah, we came to Newcastle. Of course, it's bad.
But he sat there 4 hours and you're like, that's fucking Alan Shearer.
And then he said,
Alan Shearer.
And Sunderland fans, what would they do if they saw Alan Shearer on the train?
Beat him up, probably.
I fucking dread to think. Like, I could imagine it was quite scary, to be fair.
Yeah, it probably would be.
But yeah, what a great story. Yeah, so then last game, United Liverpool.
Yeah. Bit of a demolition.
Yeah.
United were poor, weren't they? From the highlights I've caught, they were just terrible from start to finish.
So
they had a couple of moments, but that's it.
United were poor. For me, they played some nice football at times. Garnacho played really well. Rashford is a funny one because he has moments where you think he's going to do something, but it's almost like he goes, "Oh no, I can't do that," and then he turns around and almost walks back to his goal again and passes it back. Just no confidence there. Xerxes looked dangerous at times. He had a couple of good shots where you thought, another day it would have gone in. I think Alisson had about 3 or 4 great saves he had to make. One from Xerxes where he kind of headed it a bit too close, but it's similar to Watkins the other day. If he'd have gone in the corners, he'd have probably scored. They were okay. They tried to play this counter-attacking football as Man United tried to play.
Can I just interrupt for a sec there, though? If you're a Man United fan and you're playing against your biggest rivals and you're playing counter-attacking football at home, that's not on.
That's Man United's way. Man United play counter-attacking football.
Yeah, but you can't do that, though, surely.
That's their style. They absorb the pressure and then they counter you. That's why they have those pacey players. They've always done it. Man United have always played the counter-attacking football.
I suppose they have. Yeah, I suppose they have.
So I think that, to change that style, they want to be a bit more sort of possessional, playing it forward, like as most clubs do now, playing out from the back. But they just fail. Like, I mean, you saw the goals, I'm sure, where Casemiro. I think
Casemiro,
was it a misplaced pass from Casemiro, and then they've all got in and scored, and then he was coming out with the ball, got tackled, fell over, and you just see him looking up. He got brought off at half time.
They just don't. They're not playing for the manager a lot of the time.
Wow,
it's like, and all of a sudden they'll go, "Oh no, we need to play. We need to keep him in." It's not fair on him. He's a good guy. He's a good manager. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh," and they'll be incredible with 3-4 games.
Yeah.
There's just no consistency with United at all. No. I know they've got some young players that are going to be a bit hot and cold, but it's the older players that are letting them down. The young players seem to be delivering consistently week on week on week.
Yeah.
So I think once these new signings are up to speed, they'll be a different team.
I honestly don't know, because I say Man United play counter-attacking football, but do they? Do they play counter-attacking football? Because I don't know what their style is. Because you've got Rashford who's trying to run and then he's bringing it back. You've got Garnacho, who was arguably their best player, who came off, and the Man United fans made it clear that they wasn't happy with that. But Diallo come on, and Diallo's great. He's a really good player, and he had a good couple of opportunities, but they just it's almost like Arsenal of a few years ago. I remember being at the Emirates, and you saw our defence and you saw our attack, and then not much in the middle.
Yeah,
it was a bit like that. And Salah just has so much fun there. For as bad as Man United were, Liverpool were fantastic going forward. Luis Diaz was, we've spoken about him, that he's going to be so good this season. He's proving us right. Salah, who said this is probably his last game at Old Trafford.
Well, he said this is my last season at the club.
He said this is my last game at Old Trafford. This is my last season. There's no news on the contracts.
Yeah, he said no one from the club's contacted me or spoke to me, which I find bizarre.
Yeah. So it does look like Trent came off, looked unhappy to be coming off. And I saw a couple of things in social media the last couple of weeks about him. He was sat on the bench, and Slot came up and spoke to him, and they looked like a bit of a heated conversation. He was just like disinterested after that conversation. A few people saying that in training he's not happy with the way Slot's doing things. So is Trent going to be on his way out? And I mean, whoever gets
what a free signing.
And same with VDV. What's going to happen with Van Dijk?
Yeah, I feel like this season is for Slot is more of a give me a season. Let me see what I can do.
What a start he's had, though.
Then all of a sudden the players will buy into it and go, yeah, we'll start.
What a start he's had. He wants to play out from the back. He plays very similar to Klopp, but he wants to play out from the back a little bit more.
It's Klopp, but with possession.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it is. That's exactly right. And that he's got a great group of players, but they're not his players.
Yeah.
So maybe he wants rid of those players that he doesn't quite see fitting.
Maybe, but Salah's irreplaceable.
Yeah.
He's the greatest right winger in the Prem ever.
Wow.
I do think so.
Wow.
I do believe so.
Really?
Tell me another a better right winger.
David Beckham.
He didn't play his whole career here.
No, that wasn't the question that you asked.
Yeah, I think Salah's better than him. Different types of players, arguably.
Yeah.
But I think Salah's delivered more than what Beckham has.
I can't think of any right wingers. Hazard.
He's a left winger, isn't
he? He did play on the right as well, and you're cutting in similar to.
Yeah, I think Salah's better. I think the longevity side gets more. We'll talk about this later in the season, I think. We'll do a little mid-season review, and we can do some top 10s and starring 11s and shit.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he's the best ever.
Yeah, I got that. But yeah, Liverpool were very good, so well done to them.
Well done to Liverpool. It's nice to see you again, mate.
You too, man.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
See you soon.
Bye. Are we still?